Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and I am the owner of Sharice Johnson Moore LLC, where I help entrepreneurs gain exposure through advertising, broadcasting, publishing, and marketing. And I want to welcome everyone to Entrepreneurial Corners. Today, we have a very special guest to my heart, and her name is Tiphani, and she is a up and coming entrepreneur in the art of podcasting. She has a show. It is entitled Tiphani Tips Tip Tuesday podcast. And I want to say it is an honor and a privilege to have you aboard. Hello, Miss Tiphani. How are you doing today, honey?
Hello. I am good. How about yourself?
All right. We kind of have we have a rapport with each other. So can you when it comes to you, can you share a bit about your background and how you got started in the podcasting industry?
Okay. So a little bit about myself. I am a podcaster, but of course I'm other things too. I'm a mother, a wife, daughter, sister. I try to be a good friend. But I'm all of those things. I am also a singer and songwriter. Um, I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm all of those things, and I am I guess would I still be a new podcaster if it's been 2 years now? Oh,
Well, we have you got some experience under your belt. You
there we
got
go.
some experience. Some experience,
Yeah.
And,
So I've
mhm,
been podcasting for 2 years now because February 1st made
mhm,
2 years. So I'm excited about that.
mhm.
Believe it or not, I did not see myself podcasting. I always tell everybody I don't like talking. I've grown to be able to talk and be okay with it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Being in
So
front,
I've
yeah.
grown to be able to tolerate my voice because that's what it is. When I hear my voice played back, my
Mhm,
talking voice, I
mhm.
don't like it. So, I've grown over the last 2 years, and but now if you ask me to sing in front of a million people, that's a whole different story. I go on and belt out them tunes. You know what I mean? So, but it's been 2 years that I've been podcasting. It is an inspirational podcast, Tips Tuesdays. It started off as an audio podcast first.
Mhm.
And every Tuesday, I release an inspirational message. Unless I feel the unction to, just do like a random episode in between them Tuesdays. But the main day is Tuesdays that I release the episodes. And then May of that same year, I just did a spinoff of the podcast, which you, Miss Sharice, have been on the show, which is Tips Tuesdays live rehash, where I bring special guests onto the show and we use the same topics from my audio podcast
Mhm.
and give it a different spin because your perspective might be different than my perspective. So you might bring something out that I didn't bring out or paint another side that somebody else may look at it from a different perspective. So that is the spinoff from the podcast Six Tuesdays
Mhm.
on Hash, which we're on break right now from that. So but we will be starting up the fifth season of that.
Okay.
And I'm excited because the guests, they get better and better and better and better, and a lot
Yeah.
of them come out the woodworks. Hey, I want to be on the show, and I'm like, wow, people actually reaching out and wanting to be on the show and seeing the inspiration that I'm trying to spread all over the world through this platform that we have called the
Mhm.
internet. So I'm really enjoying my podcast journey. Um, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I know. It is a thing of when you create a podcast, how do you approach creating your content?
How do I approach creating my content? So, um, starting off, I mean, like I said, I didn't see myself doing podcasts, okay? And so, one of the things, I'm gonna back up. So I was influenced to do podcasts through going to school for
Mhm.
music business. And within those classes that I took, one of the classes we had to do a podcast. And so from there, I got to see how easy it is to start a podcast. Because anybody else would be like, I want to start a podcast. And now I'm just like, we'll start a podcast. Everything is out there for you. The resources are out there for you. Just start,
Mhm.
do the podcast.
Yeah.
So, starting off, I just have my phone,
Mhm.
and I along the way I got me a little mic to add to my enhanced volume or whatever. But I just have a phone and I just talk. And in order to create my content, um, there has been times where I will um, write out my messages. But then there's also times that I'll freestyle, which, like I said, I don't like my voice, so I don't know how I got these freestyle episodes, but I do. Um, but starting off, I already had a lot of stuff written out that was already inspirational.
Mhm.
And God just told me, He's like, you already have everything inside of you that you need to use. Start with that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then go from there. And that's what I did. I just used what I had already, which I had a whole lot. I didn't even realize how much I had. And
Mhm.
just embellished off of that first. And
Yes.
so, and as my journey has gone along, I've done different things where maybe I'll write the message literally that Monday night before.
Mhm.
'Cause I can be like, man, okay, I know what I want to write about. I know what I want to use as a topic. I'll get ideas in my head all the time. But
Mhm.
when it comes down to just sitting down and just writing it, not all the time does it come out. So
Mhm.
it just depends on my creative process of things. There's no particular process of things when writing. Now, when it comes to my content, I try to be, I'm trying to be more transparent and actually using just everyday life issues whenever I think of an idea as far as, the nuggets that I might want to tell with someone. I'll just record a video real quick and post it. And that's what I'm working on is being more transparent with my content and things like that. And
Mhm.
just utilizing the tools that these different apps give us.
Yeah.
Like for example, we're right here on StreamYard. StreamYard has so much stuff. I know I haven't explored everything that it offers or whatever, but I love it because I'm like, okay, I got my videos right here. I can upload this on this. I can do this on that. I can go in my other different apps and I can just upload those to StreamYard and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's very um if you are a creative person, it's
Mhm.
very resourceful um when it comes to content.
Mhm.
And I really, 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 really love that.
Yeah, I know, right? And we was discussing back and forth. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I gotta turn my volume down. Is that better?
No, you good on mine.
Okay, because I was getting some feedback. Um, so we was talking the other day, and we were talking about how I sent you this message saying that if you use Spotify for podcasters, that
Mm.
June they will no longer be having you won't be able to upload uh your audio from stream. You won't be able to upload video and the what was it? It was video and the music. They had the music concept with Spotify podcasters, and they are saying that because people use Spotify podcasters, that they'll no longer be able to use certain functions on Spotify podcasters.
Right,
And
right.
I was like, we was talking about that, and I realized they said they're moving all those capabilities to Riverside, this other app that's equal to StreamYard. So how do you feel about, have you had time to look into that? And
I really have not gotten the time to look at it. From what I'm understanding is you won't be able to like just upload, like record on their thing. So I'm thinking that you will have to record your stuff, and then if you're going to upload it on Spotify to Spotify podcasters, then
uh,
it would just be that you're not using their resources to create your video or create your audio. So
yeah,
I'm not sure. I would have to see whenever it's happening if it's a big difference. Because I know with StreamYard, I go live on my StreamYard, but my
yeah.
audio I do on my Spotify podcast. I don't know why I can't say that word. So,
So, and when I read the message, I got the email from Spotify for
mhm,
podcast. They was telling us, well, we're not gonna, in order for you to continue to use their Spotify for podcasts that they have collaborated with. They made a collaboration and merged with Riverside. So you don't have to go. You know how we use StreamYard. You got to download, then you got to upload and do
yeah,
all. That they're kind of they're merging with Riverside, so you don't have
yeah,
to do all those different features, the way we've been doing it. So that's what made me think of you. When I read the email, I said, I wonder do Tiffany know about that? No, I was like, so I always try to inform. I always
yeah,
try to inform my friends. I know my friends, my colleagues, and things of the changes that are coming our way when it comes to our podcast.
yeah.
So I want to ask you a question. So how do you engage with your audience? How do you engage? How do you spread the word? How do you tell everyone about your podcast in a communication range?
Okay, good question. So I tell everybody about my podcast through all my social media that I have. I
Mhm.
got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, text, uh, word of mouth. When I'm at work, I'm telling people about my podcast. I done made some business cards up and everything that have to my podcast. If I feel like, they might need to be touched with a little motivation or something that day. You should check out this podcast. You look like you need a little inspiration or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah,
Social media and word of mouth for sure. Um,
yes.
yeah.
Hmm. So, do you see yourself in the future maybe taking your podcast on the road?
Um, uh, hey, if the opportunity was to present itself and I could make a living doing it,
Yeah, right,
because
right.
I could make some money. But
Yeah.
I mean, I could see myself doing that. And then I also see it as a another outlet
Hmm.
and connection for the other things that I do. So I incorporate my singing.
Yeah.
I incorporate my songwriting. If you listen to the theme song that plays at the beginning of every episode, that's
Yes.
me singing.
Okay.
I get the
Well,
music, so I believe that it will connect and open other opportunities for everything else that I do.
I know.
So
Yes, because I also sing. So, my thing is that sometimes where I've had opportunities open where I don't really plan on using the singing, but it happens, and then you open a doors open to you, and where you've created this masterpiece of a song, and someone hears it and be like, okay, well, can you license out? Have you ever been approached in that manner, that someone asked you to create them a song or
I
create them?
I have
So
my
how did that come? How did that turn? How did that come about?
how did it come about? Well, the major one that I've done, because it's only been like one so far. I've had people to reach out,
Mhm.
and then they kind of like don't reach back when you tell
Okay.
them and stuff like that. But
Uh-huh.
hey, maybe they'll come back around another day. Um,
Right. Right.
but one person that has reached out to me, he's a relative,
Mhm.
and so he already knew, I sing and everything like that. But then he was also interested in the podcast and things like that. So he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I have this show, and I need a theme song. Can
Mhm.
you make it happen for me?" And I was
Right.
like, "Okay." So, but let me tell you, when I first got the text, I was like, because um God told me that opportunities would come,
Yes.
and when they come, don't worry about what your price is. If
Mhm.
they want to do it,
Yeah.
then they'll do it. So
Yeah.
as I was texting him, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do that. So my price should be probably about in this range. Then
Mhm.
this is me talking to myself. I'm like,
Right.
maybe I should go a little higher. I'm probably lowballing myself. Okay, let me go a little higher. And so before I hit the send to actually send the message, I'm like, that might be too high. He might not want to do it.
Uh-huh.
And so I didn't go with talking to myself. I just went on. I hit the send button. He
Yeah.
reached back out and was like, okay. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it maybe like the turnaround was like maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, any opportunity that can come from anything, any kind of talent that I have,
Mhm.
I'm wanting to do it. So yeah, anybody out there theme song, hit me up.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Say closed mouth, don't get fed, right? Closed mouth, do not get fed, right?
I'm always up for a challenge too. So
Yes, 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 and so during the season of you creating your podcast and the music, and what have you, I'll say, what have you learned from your setbacks or your mistakes that you have may encountered?
in both podcasts and music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have learned, number one, that if you set your mind out to do something,
Mm-hmm.
start it. Don't
Mm-hmm.
make excuses. Don't wait for the right time. Just do it. We live in a world where you can do anything that you want to do. Like, it's not a vague statement anymore. You literally can do anything that you want to do these
Mm-hmm.
days because we have the internet. And the internet makes it possible for you to do anything. It makes it possible. They'll say possible or impossible. Possible to
Yes.
do anything that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've even thought to myself, like even like my music. I'm like, man, I want my music to reach people all over the world. Then I thought about it. I was like, but your music is out on the internet, so it's reaching everybody out in the world. Now, whether they reach out to, listen to it, you're
Yeah.
already doing what you said that you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would say start whatever it is. Start. Don't do any excuses. Don't give yourself any excuses. Just start it. You don't look for perfection or what others may think that it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to look like. Only you know what you want to do,
Yeah.
and you just start it. If you start, and just for example, with this podcast, like I started off. Um, did I start off? Yeah, I started off with StreamYard, and I
Mm-hmm.
started off with the free StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
free StreamYard, everybody know you streaming from StreamYard because it got the StreamYard logo.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But over
Mm-hmm.
time, the
Yeah.
city progressed,
Yeah.
and I went on and started paying for StreamYard. So don't even let money stop you. Yeah, you might not have a budget right now. You might not have the money at all right now, but
Mm-hmm.
make an effort to just start and
Yeah.
go from there and figure it out along the way. And it helps that we have these podcast groups on Facebook that kind of guides us and gives us an idea of
Mm-hmm.
different things that we may want to do. I don't know why I'm so tongue tied today, but definitely start, and then also remember why you're doing it, and maybe who you're doing it for. Your why may be who you're doing it for, but remember what you're doing it for.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to question your passion for the thing that you want to do, just remember why you're doing it. We often get discouraged because things don't look the way we want it to look, or it doesn't sound the way we want it to sound, or it's just simply not the way that we want it to be. But it's like, if you can live to see tomorrow, you
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow, then guess what? That's another opportunity for you to try that thing again. And like I always say, Aaliyah said it best: at first you don't succeed, just to
Mm-hmm.
step off and try again. Okay, it might not work the way
Yeah.
that you envisioned it to work, but
Mm-hmm.
go reevaluate, go reassess the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's with anything, with my podcast and with my music. um I'm currently with my music uh working on gospel,
Mm-hmm.
but it's taken me years, because I've been
Yeah.
doing music forever, at least seriously since 2011. Okay,
Yes.
and it's taken me until now to where
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'm just gonna do gospel and everything like that, and that's what I'm gonna do. But before I got to this point, just doing my music, I did it with excellence. I did, if you were coming to see me perform,
Mm-hmm.
you came to see a performance. You
Okay.
know, you
All
weren't
right.
just Tiffany just sing. No,
Mm-hmm.
coming to see me perform. I'm gonna give you a show. Otherwise, what we here for? You know what I mean? And at the
Right.
end of the night, and at the end of the day, you gonna remember, oh man, that girl, she was up there and she was performing and she did this and she did that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't want to get off the path of what I was saying. But even like with the music and things like that, don't let how things turn out detour you from what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just figure out what you need to tweak, go back, do it again, keep doing
Yeah.
it until you get it the way that you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amen.
sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it don't work because it ain't time for it.
It's not the season, right? Sometimes it's not that season for that thing.
Yeah,
And we must have an understanding of we on God's time and not on our time.
exactly. And not all
So
the time things that we want to do line up with what he wants you to do.
yeah. Yeah,
So
true that, true that. So how can the people get in contact with you?
they can get in contact with me. Um, I'm on all social media. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Tips Tuesdays, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Um, yeah, that's all the podcast stuff. And then if you want to contact me for like any like booking or anything like that, it'd be Tips Tuesdays at
Mm-hmm.
gmail.com.
Oh, that is so. I am not. Ooh. Tips Tuesday. Okay, let me put this in here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. I hope I put this in right. Okay. Did I do
Yep.
that right? Oh, okay. All right.
At
All right.
gmail.com.
Who?
At gmail.com.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold
Got
on. Let
tips. You have the
me.
TIPHS, TIS, Tuesdays with an S at
Mhm.
Gmail.
Okay.
Got it right at the bottom. That's
Yeah,
scrolling.
I know, right?
At, at,
My fingers is fumbly today.
like I'm over here stuttering and tongue tied and everything.
Right. Sometimes we get to that point, right? We get to doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, okay. At gmail.com, right?
No, you still got it wrong.
Oh,
TIPHS, because you got an I in front of the S.
uh-oh. Let me correct this. Hold on. Uh, right. Let's see. Okay, let me go back. That it?
Tips Tuesdays, but put the S at the end of Tuesday. And then
Okay. Girl, it's a thing over here, right? So, sometimes we just be all everywhere, right? So I'm trying to get this right. Let me see.
now you got it right.
Okay, all right. Y'all can reach out to Tiffany at tipstuesday at gmail.com if you would like to have further details about how you want to get on her show and just reach out and because in this world of being an entrepreneur, all exposure is needed. All exposure doesn't matter if it's a podcast, doesn't matter if it's a TikTok or YouTube or what because there's so many people out here in this world that are doing their thing and that are not shy about what they do. They want everybody to know what they're doing, and and being in this internet age, it has brought out a lot of people that you have never heard before. Never, ever heard before. And it has done us a great service to get them to come out and be themselves. Tiffany, I want to thank you for being my guest today, my darling. And I greatly appreciate you. And I want you to have a blessed evening and come back now. You hear? Okay, come back now. You hear?
Let me know. Let me
Yes,
know.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. So, I wanted to say thank you to everyone for just hold on a minute, okay, Miss Tiffany?
All right.
All right. Wanted to say thank you to everyone that has come in to be in our audience for Entrepreneur Corners. I want to thank Miss Tiffany of Tiff's Tip Tuesday podcast. And I want to say thank you to everyone that has shown up and supported this broadcast. I want to thank you so much, so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. Right. And sometimes if you have missed this program, you can catch it on the podcast. Sharice Johnson Moore's podcast is available on Spotify and Apple and Google. So, and if you would like to be a guest, if you would like to be a guest on, a guest or appearing on Entrepreneur Corners, or you want to advertise your business on Entrepreneur Corners, you can reach out to me through my email, snjm at Sharice N. Johnson Moore, or you can call me at 725-256-7817 for further details. I would greatly appreciate everyone's love, everyone's everyone's support, because I love supporting others. Also want to let you know that here is my website address, ShariceNJohnsonMoore.com. Check it out. I have all the plethora of everything that I do on my website, and I would love to hear from you and through our contact form. Come on, be a guest, share your business, share your products and services, tell the people about what you do, how you bring it, what you bring it to the table, okay? Because as my grandma would say, a closed mouth don't get fed. All right. I love you all very much. And I want to say thank you so much for being in the place to be for Entrepreneur Corners for today. I thank you and I love you all. And I want to say, I want y'all to have a blessed day. All right, babies. All right, now. Talk to y'all later.